This is a little different than what you're asking, but at one of the big bridal shows, I can remember sitting down next to this lady, and she looked to me and she said, "Oh, well, how do you fit into the business?" And I just said to her, "My middle name is Maggie." And then she said to her husband, who was sitting next to her, "That's Maggie Sottero."
Each dress has its personality. Each dress has its own story. You name something that you love, right?
As we're designing the dresses, there is so many, wow, fabulous. I love that. There's just dress after dress. I think the fabric actually is the first element. The right fabric for the right silhouette is important.
I love it when you're using multiple fabrics together. We have designers that are very diverse, but then we also have designers that are really in a niche. So we do cater to more brides, more looks.
We use as many different types of beads as we can.
The beading sparkles. Outside with your dress, the sun is just going to pick up on those crystals and just make your dress just pop. Each season, as a team, we go through hundreds of sketches and narrow that down. And then once the samples come in, then we narrow that down even more to get that perfect range. Lots of hard work goes into each and every season. We're always trying to improve, always trying to get those next perfect dresses. It's not ready to wear. It's a bridal gown. It's something that you wear once.
The corset is so unique on fitting a bride.
The Maggie Magic is the corset and the Maggie Fit. It makes a bride look 2 sizes smaller. For markets, you had to have a model in and out of a dress in a minute and a half.
And it had to be done just perfectly.
And I think that's what made Maggie famous. No, we can't.
No, we can't.
No.
And I'm saying, yes, we can. And they're saying, no, we can't. I'm saying, yes, we can. And so, yes, we can won.
Yeah. But that's the story of Mum's life.
But I'd like her to say, yes, Mum, more.
Here we are 20 years later, and she made it work.
Maggie Sottero was actually my great-grandmother. Maggie came down to my mother. My mother's middle name is Margaret. My middle name is Leslie Margaret. So Maggie Sottero, we just said it, and that was it. That's the name that we'll use because we all felt a part of that.
So growing up in the business, I remember our first little shop that we had. I remember going in every Saturday morning. I'd hide in the racks and scare customers. When I got older, I'd actually work at the stores. Let Dad know I know how to run this office better than anybody else up here. I worked in the headpiece and jewellery department, and that's probably where I started my creativeness in the business.
What I could see in Kelly was myself, that she had the ability and the creative and also in the business side of it.
When I remember asking Mum if I could join the family business,
It was like, yes! Wonderful! This is what I've been waiting for. Dot is short for Dorothy, and Dinny is a name that Kelly invented.
Dinny was an amazing salesperson. Whenever there was a new dress that came onto the shop floor, she could tell you, is it a feather duster dress or is it a great selling dress? She really cared about everybody, genuinely cared. A great example. Right up until she died, she was working, and she loved Maggie. We have her picture right where she used to sit when new samples would be presented to us, and that was one of her favorite things to do.
So we always judge a dress by our memories of whether Mum would like it or she wouldn't.
She loved talking with the brides. You know, they would feel like she was almost like their mother or grandmother, saying how beautiful they were.
You're almost becoming a part of the family.
We have made millions of brides happy. We have had our Maggie gowns on millions of brides, and that is an amazing feeling.
It's even mind-boggling for us.
Yes. My dress was absolutely perfect. I just remember Dinny and Mum surrounding me we can do this, Kelly, we can do that, let's do this, let's do that. And eventually my gown was made. It was absolutely gorgeous. Big sleeves, completely open back. I absolutely loved it. It was absolutely stunning. As I was walking down the stairs, I can still picture my husband. His bottom lip was quivering, looking at me. And so, of course, I started crying too.
What I would tell a bride is, as she comes out and looks into the mirror, she will know if it's the right dress, the tears will flow, and she will just know this is right. It's something that the heart will just tell you. And often I would get into the elevator, somebody would say or tap me on the shoulder and say, "Do you know you've got pins in your shoulder?" And I would just, "Oh, sorry, yes I do." I wouldn't feel right if I didn't have pins in my shoulder. What was the question again? Let the wedding begin.